stitch. What we do is we put the yarn in front of the peg, go to the back, pin, go around on the front of the second peg, and continue like that. So back of the pin, front of the peg, back, front, back, front, back, front. Once that we have all the pegs wrapped, we will be knitting off a 1/1. And this is going to give us the stockinette stitch. No a twisted stitch, but the stockinette stitch very similar to what we get using 2 needles. Once that all the pegs are wrapped, we just do a 1/1. And again, since we're not using an E-wrap, the stitch is going to be the stockinette stitch. This is another one of, to me, the great advantage of this loom is to be able to obtain the stockinette stitch without having to work one stitch at a time. That is what happens when we use a regular loom or a regular rake. I am working on a piece with garter stitch, so now my next row is going to be the purl stitch, and again it's going to be a continuous wrap. The purl stitch is a little bit trickier. You have to get the yarn on the front underneath the loop that you already have on the peg. To do that, I hold the yarn there way down and then pull, being sure that the loop is under the loop that was already on the peg. I do it a little bit different normally, but in here, to try to show it, I have to hold the yarn way down there. I will show you in a second how do I normally do it, but it wouldn't allow for showing on the movie. Okay, what I normally do is I just put my thumb right on the peg, holding the yarn under. But as you see, you probably cannot see what I'm doing. But I can go a lot faster that way. When we get to the end, we separate the 2 loops. We kind of put to the front the top loop, fish the bottom one, take it up and put it on the peg. So pull to the front, fish it up, and put the new loop on the peg. Pull, fish, take off, and put back on. You have to be sure that you are separating the 2 loops, so when you're fishing it, is that you only fishing the yarn of one and not that there are mixed. Because if there are mixed, the yarn kind of breaks, and then it's a hard time separating the loops on the air and putting it back. It's a little bit harder to do it than just the U-stitch, but it's better than having to work one peg at a time. Another thing is it makes it easier to try to work on the second setting of the Kiss-Looms to learn a technique. If you try to learn a technique on the first setting, it's harder because you have less space to maneuver. And if you work on the third setting with a really bulky yarn, again, it makes it a little bit harder to learn a new technique.